What up, socialites, and welcome back to the Social Studies Podcast with me, Joe Dombrowski.
And me, Gaspare Randazzo.
Real quick, just off the top, want to let you guys know, first of all, happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. If you're here celebrating Marty Luke, then God bless you. Hope you're out there marching in the streets and listening to this podcast while you keep warm your little feet. Anyway, I'm in Buffalo tomorrow, so hopefully I don't freeze my little puss off. And then I'm going to be there on Wednesday. And then Rochester. I'd say come, but I'm all sold out. After that, I'm in LA for my straight friends, taking a little break for something called a honeymoon. And then I'm going to be in Philly and Des Moines and Springfield, Missouri, and St. Louis, Missouri, and Indianapolis and Long Island and Hartford, Connecticut. Then I'm going on the Heather McMahon cruise, coming back doing Toronto and Madison, Wisconsin. Get your tickets at thejoedombrowski.com.
And I will be in New York City this weekend, but both shows have sold out, which is awesome. Thank you so much, New York City
you said
people.
Both shows. With your accent, I thought you said boat shows are sold out. I'm like, well, who the hell's going to a boat show in January?
I would. Chandler, Arizona, San Diego, Portland, Naples, Florida, which, Joe, I found out is not only older individuals, because a lot of young people have been messaging me saying, can't believe you're coming to Naples. And I'm like, I can't believe there's young people there. I will be in Boston.
Yeah, but what's young? 45?
No, like my age, like 32.
7.
I don't know. I don't know how old they are. I didn't ask, but they look young. Philadelphia, West Hartford, Connecticut, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Plano, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia, Long Island,
back this shit up.
What?
Where are you going in Oklahoma?
Tulsa.
No, you're going to Tulsa, bitch. What the hell?
Coleslaw. Tulsa. Tulsa.
What? Gaspare, I swear to God, you
Tulsa?
literally... This bitch. Right?
Tulsa. I've never been there.
It doesn't, Gaspare, you don't got to be somewhere to read the name of the city.
Tulsa.
Tell me what. Spell it.
Tulsa.
Look at your paper. That's
Tulsa.
Toll is T-U-L. Tulsa.
What did I spell? What did I say?
Tulsa.
So Atlanta, Long Island, LA, Seattle, and Chicago. Get your tickets at GaspareRandazzo.com. Hey guys, I just want to tell you a quick little thing. As some of you know, we do have some ads on this show. Before we came on...
I want to talk about this too.
Before we came on, Joe and I had to record 4 ads, and it took us about an hour because we can't get... So whereas we used to just like be talking and then, just say the ads as we went along in the episode. It's not like that anymore with the ads that we're doing. So we have to read them ahead of time. And it is extremely difficult for Joe and I to not just say the ads as the episode is happening. Because, like in the old days where we would say like, Joe, you're so silly. You know what would help you? BetterHelp. Boom. And we would just be able to talk about it. We can't do that anymore. And it's very sad for us. But hopefully it's sad for you too.
Hopefully it's not sad for you and you're still going to listen. But listen, Gaspare, I do want to talk to you about the ads. One of the ads that you just read was Green Chef. And you were talking about Green Chef and you said if something goes in good, it's going to come out good too. And I've been trying. This isn't an ad, everybody. I know it's starting like this is an ad. This is not an ad. But I've been eating.
But there is an ad for Green Chef in here if you are listening.
Yeah. I've been eating dumb healthy. Except for Saturday when I had 9 dirty martinis. That was a mistake.
At once?
In one night, yeah. I was throwing them back. It was a lot. And I was not... Can I just start with the first story?
Yeah, I don't care.
Because my first 2 stories kind of go into each other. Okay, so I'm eating the olives because I'm like, that's the food.
That's healthy, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, whatever. So I've been eating one of the ways I love to eat. So instead of like sacrificing all the meat that I love to eat and sacrificing like all the stuff that's like, I don't eat like fast food, but like I wanted to clean it up a little bit. I'm also trying to bulk up. So I'm like, I'm going to eat a lot of vegetables, like a ton of vegetables. Gaspare Randazzo, I am eating so many vegetables right now that I am hotboxing myself out of rooms. Like I am farting and I have to leave. My dog, I farted yesterday and Mac was next to me. And after like 14 seconds, he caught it. He looked up at me. This dog shamed me. He's like,
He
you
was like,
dirty piece of shit. Got up and left the room. You know your colon is rotting when your dog leaves because of your fart.
he's like,
I'm
don't blame this
opening
shit on
doors.
me.
I'm like opening. Morgan was gone for the weekend for a birthday trip, but I was like, thank God he's not here because he would have whooped my ass. Like it was crazy. It was so bad, so bad.
So that is the bad thing about like eating healthy. So I've been eating salads every day for lunch. It's miserable, but I actually like the taste. I put nuts in them, so like I kind of like that. But I've been eating salads.
You
But
like the
like
taste
tonight,
of
I
nuts?
got I do like a roasted almond or nuts.
Ezra, when you edit this, take out the word that he says before nuts. So just take out wall. So he's just saying nuts.
Guys, if you're listening and I was only just saying nuts, that was edited. I was saying walnuts, almond nuts, pecan nuts. It wasn't just me saying nuts. They edited that. I know. Anyway, I got home today and I was like famished though, and I had like 19 taquitos.
Ooh, famished. Can't say Tulsa, but he say famished. Holy
I'm
shit.
like,
Balls.
why did I eat
Rolling.
healthy all day? Like, if I'm just gonna come home and eat all those
Yeah, dude.
taquitos. But then I was like, you know what? I would have ate a burger and French fries at lunch
Yeah.
and came home and still ate the taquitos. So at
But
least I'm
here's the
cutting
thing.
out one thing.
I'll eat like a ton of vegetables. Like I'll have like a bunch of roasted vegetables and I'll just like eat. And I swear to God, an hour later, I'm like, I'm going to eat that much vegetables again. Like, I'm like, oh, I'm like, vegetables are good for you and shit like that, but it's not filling me up like a burger.
My mom was like, you could just put vegetables in an air fryer with like a drop of olive oil. She's like, it's delicious.
Dude, do I want to buy an air fryer again? Because remember, I had my air fryer, but then there was the recall because they were blowing up and I had to throw it away. I think I want to buy it again, but I got to be real with you. That basket's so little.
So little. It barely can do anything.
Like, come on. I want to cook some shit.
Who's
Not
this
like
for?
a handful of, like, am I feeding like just small children all the time? Like,
or just yourself? Like, I got to cook for a
yourself?
family of 4. I got to do 3 rounds of it. You know what I mean?
And you can't load it up. Like, I can't fill that basket with chicken wings because then the ones in the middle aren't going to get crispy.
No,
So it's like,
won't.
come on.
I will say this. I really definitely like catapulted into adult style yesterday. So we have a refrigerator and we have our regular fridge, but then we have a refrigerator. It was just an old fridge in the garage. And we've been keeping stuff in there, like just extra like frozen stuff. And it's like been starting to go. And like yesterday I went to get something in it and it's like was not on, like it was not good. And I was like, this is my chance. Cause I've just been waiting for an excuse to go buy a deep freezer. And I said,
got
Melissa,
one?
I said, Melissa, I have to go. I jumped in the car. I drove to Lowe's. I got it. It was on sale. $176.
Yes.
$176 came out to like $202 with tax. The lady came out. First off, I had a lot of food in the freezer. And I literally said to Melissa, this food will go bad if I don't save it. So like, I didn't mind spending the $200 because I was like, this is saving the food's life. I got home. I plugged it in within 2 hours. It was already cold. I transported everything into the freezer, put some ice in there just to like keep it, just extra cold because it was still. And I was like, y'all, this is my proudest moment right now.
Gaspare. I felt the same way when I bought my deep freezer. I'm so pro deep freezer. Okay, I'm going to change your life in about 2 seconds though. But before I do, let me ask you this. Vertical or horizontal?
No, it's
a chest.
lay down. Horizontal? Yeah.
A chest.
Because I want to just throw shit in. I don't want to stack.
I like the chest.
I don't want to stack.
I like the chest. Morgan almost had us get a vertical one. because he's like, then
It's
you
more
can like see
practical
what's
because
in
you'll
there, keep
find
it
stuff.
organized.
Yeah.
It is for sure, but I'm going to tell you 2 things that's going to change your life, okay? I'll send you the links after this, all right? First thing,
Send them to Melissa. I don't order online.
well, you're actually going to have to figure this out because I don't know if they're going to fit yours. I got baskets. So when I open my deep freezer,
Mine came
I
with
have
baskets.
4. How many baskets? Because mine came
2.
with 1 basket. Okay. I had 1 basket and I ordered 3 more. I have baskets, right? So everything underneath the basket is a hodgepodge of bullshit. I don't know, right? But I have
Yeah.
my baskets figured out now. I have vegetables, fish, chicken, and pork and beef.
Yeah,
And
no, that's good.
some of them are not. But it's like that. And then like when a basket's running low, then I'll lift that basket out and just like refill it. So it's
Oh,
constantly like
that's nice.
circling, right? You got to
Yeah,
do
that's
it. That's
good.
the way to go. You don't have to do this, but I also bought a whiteboard for mine. So the top of mine says what's in there. So I can be like, I got 4 pork loins, 45 pounds of ground beef. And then every time I pull one, I just like, dude, I'm like a
Wow.
fucking
Dude,
Pinterest mom with 12 kids living in the middle of Utah. Like I am literally slaying the game with this bitch. Then I'm going to one up your shit even more. You are going to, dude, you are going to love this. You 1,000,000,000% have to buy a vacuum sealer.
You know what's funny? Wait, that's the one that sucks the air out of things?
Yes.
But for what? And then you pop the food and then you suck the air out of it and reseal it?
Okay, so if you vacuum seal things, it'll stay fresher while it's freezing. You're not going to get like freezer burn. Freezer burn on the outside is actually the moisture from what you had coming out of it. So if you just take a chicken leg and you throw it in the freezer, you know how it gets all that crystals on it and then you wipe it off and it's like freeze dried pretty much?
Yeah.
That's not going to happen if you freeze dry because you're making that layer of plastic like over the meat or whatever it is that you
Yeah,
do.
I'm not gonna do that.
But let me tell you this though. This is
I'm
when you
just
will.
I'm
This is
just
when you will. No, this is when you will because if there's one thing I know about you, if it's just for sale and you're saving $1, you're in. So now, since I have my deep freezer, we only buy meat and vegetables in bulk. So I'll go to Costco and buy lamb chops to feed a family of 12. I'll keep 6 in the fridge and I'll vacuum seal them in portions. So like chunk it out. And then I'll
Oh,
put
so
those
you
bags
can
in the deep freezer. So then whenever I want them again,
wait,
boom, now I got them.
is the vacuum seal like a Ziploc bag that reseals?
No, so it does. So you see I put the food in the plastic bag, right? And then you have to seal one end of it. So now it's an actual bag and nothing's falling out of it.
Okay.
Then you put whatever you want in there. And then you put it in and you close it and you press vacuum and seal. And the first thing it does is vacuums it. So there's no air in there at all. And the next thing it does is there's like a heating strip. And then boom, that'll seal it right there too. So then when you take
So
that
like
out, you have to cut it with scissors.
if I had loose chopped meat, what am I putting it in a bag?
What the hell is loose chopped meat? Loose chopped meat?
Like a pound of chopped meat, right? If I bought a 10-pound
What
of
the
10
fuck
pound
is chopped meat?
chopped meat,
What's chopped meat?
like the stuff you make tacos with.
Ground beef? What the
Oh
fuck
yeah,
are you
ground
talking
beef.
about?
We call it chopped meat in New York.
Who the hell calls it chopped meat?
I never. I mean, I know it's called ground beef. Chop meat. Yeah, chop meat.
No. What's it say?
Chop meat. It's pictures of chop meat.
Oh my God, I just looked it up.
Yeah,
No,
but it's like also
original
they're just like
chopped beef.
yeah. It's just all right. Whatever. Ground beef. If I
Okay, so
have
anyway,
like a
so anyway, okay.
if I have like a 10-pound bin of ground beef, I can
Yeah.
take only 2 pounds of it and then vacuum seal the rest.
I buy ground beef by 8 pounds. Well, I told you I bought a cow, right?
Yeah, yeah.
there was a biggest reason for this is like it came all portioned out and I keep it all in there and then I like use those things. But before that, I got 45 pounds of ground beef from that cow. So that I'm still like cycling through all that beef.
That's
But
45
before
taco
that,
nights. You know what I mean?
right, exactly. But before that, I was buying my ground beef by 8 pounds and then I would quarter that, put 2 pounds in my fridge, and then I would vacuum seal 6 pounds in 2 pound increments. So every bag was 2 pounds of ground beef. And I'd put them in that
Do you
vacuum
have
seal
to
and then boom.
do you have to buy the bags separate? These vacuum bags?
Usually they'll come with it, but the bags are cheap.
How much is this product? Can I use a curling iron, like a hair straightener, and just do it myself? Or
I
it's
don't think you'd
different
be
because you
able
got
to
to
do
get
the
the air out.
vacuuming part yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're
I could
not
just
expensive either. They're not expensive. You're gonna get one. I'll tell you right now. They're like under $100.
Oh, no, I hate it already. I'm gonna do
Why?
I don't know. I just thought of like resealing the meat after I open it.
$60, $35 for a really good one.
All right, I'll look into it.
$80 for, and then my mom recently got one, Gaspare, that's even different like that. It vacuum seals with reusable bags, and there's a little disc on it, and you just like it's handheld. You pop it on, it sucks the air out, and then you can throw that in your freezer. So
You know
up
what's
to you, but
crazy?
you have
Like
options.
I was thinking like I would love to just like I'm like fixing my garage right now. I would love to just make it like a straight up like doomsday shelter. Like you ever see those people online that like they can like live in their
Oh
garage for like
yeah, and
years?
it's like a
Like I want
totally
like
organized like pantry of like a
yes, like I
hanging
want like
ham and
a
shit. Yeah,
hundred. I want
yeah,
like
me too.
100 taco shells, just like just stack like
There,
Ritz crackers
yeah, me
everywhere.
too.
Like I
Me
don't know if
too.
those are
Me too.
things I
You and
just
I would
thought.
be very good doomsday preppers.
Oh
Anyway,
yeah.
trust
Also, I would
me.
survive
And
forever. 'Cause I'm a
also,
roach.
sealing shit is so satisfying. It's like,
That's
oh
what
my
they
God,
say.
you
I've
like
seen
love
TikToks
watching it.
on it.
It's so great. Yeah, it's so
Dude,
good.
you know which TikTok rabbit hole I fell down? The North
Rest
Sea.
in peace. It might not even be around by the time this episode comes out.
Well, this old thing called TikTok, we used to have it back in the day.
The North
The North
Sea.
the North Sea, it's like the most dangerous sea in the world. And
Yeah.
dude, it's just like you just watch things that happen. Like it's like 80-foot waves just like demolishing boats. Like this guy was like driving his boat with about like 100 shipping containers on it. And like the
Yeah.
sea just came in and just ripped all of them off. And like everyone's just running on the deck. And like there's like orcas just like destroying the boat while you're next to it trying to get away. And it's like, it's just insane. The guy takes a fish and he throws it into the water to show you. As soon
Oh,
as it
I've
hits the
seen this.
ground, there's 1,000 fish just attack it. And it's like the North Sea is bananas crazy. But anyway, I had a cousin who was a ship captain. And so he used to be a ship captain in Italy. One time he pulled up onto Staten Island, believe it or not, with his boat. He transported used cars from America to Africa. And they would sell these used cars like as brand new in Africa. And we went in, Joe, this boat was like double the size of your block. It was so massive. It's like unfathomable. It's like the size of your block, just imagine. And it's just filled to the brim with cars on top, just next to each other. Like no, like, and the boat moves and they just clanking each other. And he was like, it don't matter. Like they're gonna buy them no matter what. So we want to put as many as we can in the ship rather than, and it was like he was showing us like how they deal with pirates, like all this crazy stuff. Cause like he's like, yeah, you're just in the middle of the ocean. It's a free-for-all. You know what I mean? Anyone can do anything. So he's like, we're just cruising along and people pull up beside you and they try to just take your boat. And like he's got like armed guards on the boat with him who are just like there to shoot at the pirates. Like, he's like, if they took your boat, you're talking about millions of dollars worth of cargo, equipment, he's like, so you can't let them. Wild.
Wild.
So cool though.
How we went from stinky farts to pirates in the North Sea, I'll never understand,
Okay.
but that
So
is our friendship in a
so
nutshell. This show is sponsored by Liquid IV. Listen. Do you guys have new rituals coming up in this new year? Like maybe you're setting alarm clocks to wake up earlier. Maybe you're in the fitness groove. I got a new ritual for you. Okay, I am proud of this ritual, but I do need to lead by saying sometimes do as I say, not as I do. So take this one with a grain of salt. I am a drinker. I don't have a drinking problem, okay? But I do like to suck back a few cocktails. And sometimes a few turns into, 9 dirty martinis this weekend, Gaspar. 9 dirty martinis in one day. But I swear to God, so Jeff was here, Jeff, and he loves Liquid IV and I love Liquid IV. When I whipped out my stash, he was like, oh my God. And then he had his stash too. So we swapped flavors. You drink a Liquid IV packet full with all your water after a night of drinking before you go to bed. And the first time you open your eyes, you do it again. I'm going to tell you right now, feeling good, feeling really good. Hangover, not what they used to be. And that's why I'm loving Liquid IV. Get that tattooed to your back. Was not
I
going to
have
say
enough.
back. Anyway, I also love about Liquid IV is these, I'm not kidding you, this is no joke, true to flavor. Like I'm drinking right now the popsicle firecracker, literally tastes just like the firecracker popsicle. They have amazing flavors. I'm reading this straight from the website right now. Watermelon, tropical punch, strawberry lemonade. Sea berry, never had that before, but they look like little orange bundles of joy. I'd try it. Pina colada, pear, guava, lemon. Look at me with the rhymes today. Pina colada, pear, guava, passion fruit, and grapefruit. Concord grape and cotton candy, golden cherry, and acai berry. Get it. Get it.
Damn.
You're going to love this. I want you to try Liquid IV, okay? I love it. No joke. And I want you to get it. Get a new ritual. You're going to want to do Liquid IV during and after a long night of drinking. Listen, here's what you need to do. You need to embrace your ritual with extraordinary hydration from Liquid IV to get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use the code SOCIAL at checkout. That's 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code SOCIAL at liquidiv.com.
All right, so I've been talking about how I'm trying to eat healthy. This has been a thing and it's working so far. And thankfully, I have Green Chef, which is the #1 meal kit for clean eating. It comes, it's pre-portioned, it's prepped. They send quality whole foods with limited processed ingredients. And that's important because I've been trying to eat better. I'm trying to eat less of all the stuff that's like, processed in the factories with all the chemicals and all that stuff. And I'm trying to eat things that are good for me. Okay. So here's the thing. I'm staying on track. I'm eating salads. Green Chef sends you salads, okay? Even on your busiest day, you can make these salads in 5 minutes or less. They're also sending me smoothies that are ready to be blended. It comes, I open it, I put it in my little thing that cuts the fruit, and boom, it's made. And they're giving me things that are keeping me energized through the day. They have like energy, different meals that give you energy. Like I'm always craving snacks throughout the day. They're giving you things like with these curated hydration bundles, which helps me to kind of curb my appetite for snacking, which is what I need because I have literally no self-control when it comes to food. So you want your eating habits to last? Green Chef will make it happen. They will send you these foods, you will eat them, and you will enjoy them. Okay? I know I'm liking them, and I want you to like them too. So go to greenchef.com/social studies free and use code social studies free to get started with free salad for 2 months plus 50% off your first box. That's code social studies free at greenchef.com/social studies free to get 50% off your first box plus 2 months of salads for free. So speaking of
Wait, I got
stinky
more to
fart
tell you
stuff.
about the night.
Oh yeah, I want to hear. Sorry.
2 things happened. So we're drinking these martinis. We went to like the show. And I gotta tell you, Gaspar, we went to the show and it was expensive as hell. Okay. So I'm there, and then at the end of it, they um come out asking for tips, like fully came out asking for
I
tips.
would have hated that.
And then after they came out asking for tips, the servers go to your table and lay the checks down. So now you got to pay for your food and your drinks and tip on top of that too. So like, that's all I'm going to say. What do you think?
I mean,
Now, I will
if
say
you
this, the
go,
show is like very good. So
if you go, all right, let's say you went to a Broadway show. Like at the end of Broadway shows, sometimes they come out with like a donation bin, and they're like,
but for like a
"Hey,
charity
he,
though,
but I was gonna say, but it's for a charity, so I'm like, okay, I can get behind that. If I went to like a strip club, you watch the show, you have to still tip your waitresses and your bartenders, and then you have to tip the performers, but it's different. Like you're not spending hundreds of dollars. Well, I mean, some people are, but like I guess that's a different feel. I don't know. I'm trying to think like, well, actually, look at what we do. Imagine we got off stage and then said, "Hey, can you tip us?"
bro, we are
After they
literally
just
cut from the same cloth. I swear to God, we said the same exact thing. We were like, could you
yeah,
imagine
like
me coming off stage and then being like, and by the way, guys, you know, tip me. Like, what?
were they like
And
nice
then
about it?
afterwards, very, very nice. But then afterwards, they were even selling like merch and stuff on top of that. And I was just like, we were just kind of like, this is a performance and this was an expensive ticket. And then on top of that, you're going to ask for a tip. It was just like, what? Like, I
No,
was like,
it's excessive.
what? And I was like looking around and I was like, these people, all of these people are eating and drinking. So I'm like, we paid for our ticket. Jeff and I did the math just to be there for the night. We spent like $350 per person just
Oh
for
yeah,
that
no, I
outing
would
to
have
do that from top to
I would have
bottom. And
hated
that's
that.
not even including the Uber to get there and stuff. Like, I was like, are you for real? Because that's a thing. Like, you have an expensive ticket point for a reason. Because don't get me wrong, the show was great. The theatrics were great. The dancing was great. The atmosphere was great. Look, everything about the performance was great. But that's why you have an expensive ticket, because that should be how you're getting compensated. I don't know. It's just like, and we were just kind of like, this is not feeling good right now. Anyway, I want to know what you guys think. Send us an email, thesocialstudiespodcast@gmail.com. What do you think about that? And do you have a crazy tipping story, positive or negative? Nothing bad. I'm not knocking them, Gas. I'm just saying it was kind of like, man, when do we draw the fucking line here?
Yeah, like we've kind of given enough. we've we've given enough money.
And the
Speaking
part that
oh,
really nailed me too was the fact that like, and then they came and put our bill down. And we were like, well,
yeah,
fuck.
honestly, I get very uncomfortable like when people like one time, I don't remember where I was, but we had started like in the bar, like we were waiting for our table somewhere. It was like at a show or something. And like I ordered a drink at the bar and like just like a beer, and I don't even drink. And then they brought us to our table, and then like we ate all night, and then like we paid for the thing, we paid for our meal. But then like the bartender came over and dropped a tab for the bars that we drank, like the beer that me and my friend drank at the bar. And then they dropped a separate tab. And I assume they just put it all on one because we went from bar to table. And it was kind of like this awkward, like, all right, now I guess we have to like tip him too, because I wasn't just gonna be like, yo, we ate. You get what I'm saying? Like we essentially
No.
got dropped. We walked in, we sat at the bar while we were waiting for our table to be ready. We had a beer each. Then we went and sat down at the table while we were holding a beer. She's like, oh, come sit. We went, sat, we ate our meal. They dropped the check for the restaurant from all our food, and he got a bunch of beers throughout dinner. So we just assumed that was all part of it. And then the bartender came over and he's like, oh, you didn't pay your check. And I was like, oh. and then there was like a separate check. And then I felt like, oh, now we got to tip him too, because like, I didn't
Yeah,
want to be
see,
like,
that's a thing. I do know that's a thing from bartenders that I work with, because I think the bar is different. They do like when you close out your bar tab before you start your drink tab, because I
and
think there's like they don't split tips evenly, bar
maybe, I don't
and
know. But I
servers.
just remember being like, we got to tip twice. And like, it was like awkward. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to be like, here's $1. Like,
Right.
like it's like a slap in the face. So it was
Yeah,
like,
I don't
oh,
really understand that kind of situation. It's like you think that would just like be
I guess we
embedded
just,
in your meal.
yeah, whatever. All right. I have two stories that you are going to love. Well, one of them
Oh
for
wait,
sure.
I have one more thing to say. One more thing to
Oh, yeah,
say.
yeah.
On top of all of that tipping and all of that everything, the bill nickeled and dimed the hell out of you. Like, we got a martini. To make a drink into a martini, there was a martini fee, and then they even charged us for the olives, which I was like, okay. And then on top
A
of all that,
martini
they put a
fee?
5%, and then they put a living wage fee on top of all of it. And I was like, I get the living wage fee, but like, you're gonna do a living wage fee, tip on this, tip on that, and an expensive ticket. Like, at what point are we
Wait,
drawing a fucking
wait, wait, wait,
line
wait.
here?
What the hell is a living wage fee?
It's a very big thing here in Seattle. Restaurants are starting to do it. I think it's because they say like wages are going up, that in order to pay their staff efficiently, that they tack on 5% to your meal, which is like whatever. But at the same, and they're like, and we do this so we don't have to raise your prices. And my whole thing is like,
You are raising
but
the
you,
prices.
but you are raising prices. Like, either way you look at it, you're raising prices, because whatever I order here is going up by 5% regardless. So why don't you just bump all your shit up by 5%, and then like, now I can decide what I get and what I don't. Like, I'm just like, there's a part, I get it, I understand what's happening, but there's a part of me that's like, is this performative? Is this just so restaurants can be like, we do a living wage fee for our workers? It's like, yeah, but like, you could also just like pay them well. Like, you could just pay them well. Like, I don't
But
fucking
I don't even
understand fully, I
understand. So a
guess.
living wage fee is just charging more money, but saying it's a fee for them?
Yeah, yeah. Like,
So
and
like if
sometimes even
you
at the bottom of a restaurant menu, it'll say 5% of your bill will be tacked on for a living wage fee.
but
But
if
then
you
one thing
break
that I really did appreciate is our server right off the bat told us, "Hey guys, and by the way, this is in effect here, and it happens." And I was like, "I appreciate that. You let me know off the top of the bat. I didn't just get my bill and see this." I was like, "Okay, I can get
so on
down with
every
that."
5% is on every 100, that's $5 extra.
Which is
So
like whatever, right? But
yeah, like if you can afford to spend $100 out, you can afford to spend
yeah, to fuck
105. But at the end of the day, that means out of 50, it's $2.50. So out of 25, it's $1.25. So if a meal's $25, just make the meal
that
$26.50.
that's what I'm
And
saying,
you
because it's
can
like,
avoid the awkwardness of living wage
anybody
fee.
getting mad, right? And you can avoid anybody getting mad or anybody protesting this or anybody saying, just like, but, and also it just seems so, it's just very like, we support the working person. It's like, yeah, you do. And you would also support the working person by raising your prices so you can pay them efficiently. Like,
Yeah, it's
I don't
weird.
know. I'm like, fuck, man. But it was just like that. The tipping, the this, I was just like, this is expensive.
Yeah. That's why people don't want
Okay.
to go out.
Ring, ring, what's that? It's Mint Mobile. If saving more and spending less is one of your top goals for 2025, then why are you still paying insane amounts of money every month for wireless? Switching to Mint Mobile is the easiest way to save this year. As the first company to sell premium wireless service online only, Mint Mobile lets you maximize your savings with plans starting at $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan. You could be saving so much. Think about all that extra cash and where it could go. You could do things like get a tattoo or buy a kangaroo. So say bye-bye to all your overpriced wireless plans, and your bills will be so small your jaw will hit the floor. Because Mint Mobile's here to rescue you with their premium wireless plans that start at $15 a month. And all plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk to text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. So ditch those overpriced wireless plans with Mint Mobile's limited time deal and get 3 months of premium wireless service for just $15 a month. To get this new customer offer and your new 3-month unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/social studies. That's mintmobile.com/social studies. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/social studies. A $45 upfront payment required, which is equivalent to $15 a month. New customer on first 3-month plan only. Speeds slower above 40 gigabytes on unlimited plan, and additional taxes, fees, and restrictions do apply. See Mint Mobile for more details.
So here's the thing, guys. As I've been telling you all along, I'm eating healthy, I'm eating better, I'm just living an overall healthier lifestyle. And I hate that I have to constantly sacrifice my happiness for my health. But I don't have to do that anymore. With Hero Bread. Hero Bread has ultra low net carbs, 0 grams of sugar, and is high in fiber. Fiber is the stuff that makes you go to the bathroom. When I go to the bathroom, I'm happier. Okay, so Hero Bread is, you can make, it's this like soft, fluffy bread. And like when you eat it, you almost feel guilt-free. Cause I know me, like I like the thick Italian bread. And when I eat that, I'm like, oh, I'm going to feel like crap later. Not with Hero Bread. I make a little avocado toast. I make a little grilled cheese, dip it in some tomato soup. I even put my burgers on it. It's good. It tastes good. And it feels good going in and coming out. So, make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich on it. Make buttered rolls. Make anything. Literally, you can make anything that you make with bread. Tortillas. Do a little taco night with it. You could put all this stuff on and it's good and it's good for you. So lately at nighttime, like I think I was telling you this before, at night, I like a little snack before bed. I toast a slice of Hero Bread, rub a little peanut butter on it, and I eat it. Even in the mornings, my son likes grilled cheese and avocado sandwiches before he goes to school. So I make it on Hero Bread. Boom, done. You got bread, you got tortillas, bagels, dinner rolls, all these different things, and they are good. And guess what? They have a new 4-gram net carb bagel. That doesn't even make sense. So at the end of the day, Hero Bread is offering 10% off your order. Go to hero.co and use code SOCIAL at checkout. That's social at HERO.CO. So, Joe, I had a movie night with my kids the other night.
Do you do couch forts?
Mm-hmm, we did the couch
Hell
fort.
Yeah.
And so I made popcorn for them. We had our Skittles, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And candy, shout out to Noreen, actually, for bringing me a bunch of candy at my Jersey show. Thanks, Noreen.
Hey, Noreen.
Kids ate it. So we were watching the movie Captain Underpants. Do you know who that is? Or you've heard of it, right?
Of course. I was a teacher when that was at like its height, the book.
Okay, ready? So in Captain Underpants, she goes, the teacher's reading a story and she goes, and right next to Mars is Uranus. And they start laughing in the movie. The kids in the classroom start laughing. So I just like look over at Gaspare to get a gauge on like, does he find this funny? Like, does he even know? And he's like giggling. So I said, why is that funny? And I go, do you know what that joke is? And he goes, yeah, anus. So I said, what's an anus? And he goes, it's your butthole. So I started laughing just at him saying butthole. So he's like,
how did he know?
Lucy goes, really? The anus is your butthole? She goes, so I fart out of my anus? So Gasp was like, yeah, Luce, you fart out of your anus. So then he goes, I'm going to kick your anus. And she goes, I'm going to punch your anus. And he goes, don't touch my anus. She goes, I'm going to eat your anus. I was like, whoa, party's over. Shut up. And then literally at 10 o'clock, we're watching. The clock strikes 10. It's me, Gaspar, and Lucy on the couch. Clock strikes 10. Gaspar goes, okay, it's 10 o'clock. We got to shut the TV. It's nighttime. I said, you could stay. And he goes, no, we're going to shut it. So I shut the TV. Lucy goes, you guys are going to bed? I'm out of here. She gets up out of the bed and leaves, goes up into her own room, and she's laying in her own bed playing with her dolls so she falls asleep. Like, it was like, she was like, you guys are losers. Like, why are you going to bed?
That's so funny that Gasper like needs to go to sleep and she's just like, "Hey, let's party.
So we'll party all night.
Dad, I have
Also,
candy."
yeah. Also, they came with me to my school this weekend for a show. There was a show at my school, and this woman that I work with gave Lucy like these like pointer fingers, whatever,
Yeah.
like pointers. And she's walking out of the building with them. So I said, Lucy, did Olivia tell you you're going to take those? She said, well, she didn't not tell me I could take them.
Oh, crafty.
I was like, all right. Anyway,
Ugh.
the other thing is I went to Trader Joe's with Lucy this weekend, right? So we're walking around and there was a guy in Trader Joe's who was clearly like unhinged. Something was up. He was walking around shady, whatever. I guess I noticed it. A lot of people noticed it. Trader Joe's called the cops on him. So the cops now are there and they're escorting him around the store and he's crazy. He's
Losing
like,
it.
you gotta escort me. Like, I don't have money to pay. Well, watch me pay. And he's screaming. So we get to the register. And of course, he's right next to us. And I'm like, oh. So Lucy sees the cops and she goes, Daddy, are the cops here for me? So I said,
What?
no. And she goes, is it because I was bad yesterday to brother? So I'm laughing and I'm like, no, baby. So she goes, Daddy, are bad guys real? And I start laughing and everybody around me is laughing. And this guy's completely unhinged, screaming. And I go, well, don't worry, baby. Like, I'll always protect you and the police will protect you. So Lucy goes, what does a bad guy look like? And the cop is leaning behind the crazy guy and he's pointing at the guy, which was absolutely
God.
hysterical. Then she's like, so everyone's now laughing. This guy's screaming. And Lucy goes, bad guys aren't real. Like, do they really real? Like, what does a bad guy look like? So now the register guy, he's like our age. He's like, well, they wear gray sweatshirts, black sneakers. He's just describing this guy. And all in unison, we're all just laughing as Lucy's just adorable. And this guy's like, you guys are fucking assholes. I'm going to tear this place up. This place sucks. Then he's banging on the window outside with the receipt.
Oh, no.
And Lucy's like, he's so silly, this guy. And I'm like, yeah. Because they have no fucking clue.
Jesus Christ.
What was the other thing you were going to tell me?
Well, okay, I'll tell you. There's two things. I'm going to tell you two stories on Patreon, okay? One is about a masturbation band, and the that is sweeping the nation. And the other one is, and this is true, I'm not exaggerating, my dog almost was attacked by a pack of coyotes this week. I'll tell you over at Patreon. Patreon.com/The Social Studies Podcast. Find us over there.
And I do want to read one quick email on this before we go over to the Patreon. So we got an email from Kristen from West Virginia. Hey guys, listen to your podcast of 2025. Still just as funny in case you were wondering. LOL. Thank you so much, Kristen. I do want to hear more about Gaspar's no shoes in the house with guest over rule. My dilemma is I do not like shoes in the house and I'm struggling to figure out how to tell that to guests when we have them over. Is it something that you put on invites for parties? Do you put it in group text? Help a girl out. Thanks a bunch. I will tell you this, Chris. So for when we had New Year's, my wife literally wrote a sign and put it on the door. Please remove your shoes when you enter the house. Thank you, management. Like, so it was like a joke, kind of funny, like kind of light. Like it was just like, as far as like on invites, definitely not. We just tell people when they come. When it's my people, I'm always like, guys, I'm so sorry. My wife's crazy. And I tell them like, I'm so sorry. She wants everybody's shoes off. And when it's her people, she's like, take your shoes off. Like, I don't want to mop. People's feet are dirty. Someone threw up on the floor in Target. Like, so like it's just, you just have to be open with people, but it does suck. Cause like sometimes people have shitty socks on and they're like, damn, I don't want to take off my shoes. Do you wear shoes in your house?
Not. I don't like shoes personally. I'd be barefoot as much as I can.
There's a player on the Buffalo Bills who doesn't wear shoes. Like he only wears shoes when he has to for game day, when he wears cleats, but he like likes to be grounded all the time.
I'm not like that, but I don't know. But I don't know. Our whole thing is like, take your shoes off or don't. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Because
all right, guys,
we're cleaning like crazy over here anyway. Check us out over at Patreon, patreon.com/socialpodcast.
Yeah, we'll post the rest of this episode. Thanks, guys.